Good morning, everybody. It's cold, it's overcast, and guess what? Those are my favorite kind of days. So we are back out on a familiar property to do some more mulching. So I got the Kubota with little Munchie out here with me, and I'm gonna show you guys what we got. It's fairly straightforward, but we're definitely going into a low area, so hopefully nothing bad happens. Let's see what we got. All right, so if you guys remember this property, I was out here about a month ago where this guy had taken down a bunch of pine trees. We pulled a bunch of pine logs and stuff out from this hole right in here, mulched all this through here, got it all cleaned up, mulched this front area as well, opened it up. And I'll give the guy credit. He has been in here doing a ton of stacking and burning with these pine trees. I will say, a lot of people, you know, they see people taking down pines here in the South and they're not from here and they yell about firewood. Pines are not good for firewood. They burn really dirty. If you try to put them in a chimney, they're real bad about sooting and clogging up your chimney, and they just don't burn very clean like hardwoods do. Like these red maples are great for firewood. The gums aren't too bad either, but we got some red maple firewood a couple years ago and it was amazing after it dried out. So that's a great tree for firewood. But these pines, he's just out here burning them to get rid of them. He's not really using this for firewood, but he's just burning it to get rid of it. So he's got a bunch of it stacked up back here, got it out of the way. So what we're going to be doing, luckily they've already got the property line flagged back here, and it just kind of runs this creek. You guys can see there's a little creek right here, and the property line, as far as I can tell, just kind of runs this creek basically off at an angle that way. So I'm going to take the Mini in right here, and we're just going to have to work our way back along this creek bank and open all this up. And this is low down here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's a pretty good hill that comes down into this hole. But where my truck is sitting, it's probably somewhere between 6 to 8 foot drop down in this hole. And so I love this machine for going into low areas because a Mini is a lot more maneuverable and it's a lot easier to recover. You bury a skid steer back in here and that's a bad day. You get this thing stuck, you can a lot of times self-recover and get yourself out. So let's fire up and see if we can get some stuff done. And we got some rain coming in later this afternoon around, I think, 4 or 5 o'clock. So hopefully we can get most of this done before it starts to rain. So let's get started. right, got a little rain coming down. I knew it was going to start to rain around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, and we're right about that mark, and it's starting to drizzle. We got a lot done in here today. We got all this cleared out. I started all the way down there where that tree is laid over right there. I started on, like, I think the other side of that, somewhere over there, and we come all the way down through, cleared all this all the way out to the property line. Property line is, the right side property line is right there where that big pine is. You can see it's marked, and it goes back that way. I thought these yellow orange markers back here were the property line, but they are not. This is marking an old barbed wire fence back here, and so that creek is on the other side of it, a good ways over there. It borders the creek, like right on it, and then it kind of comes off it. And what I think this probably was way back in the day, this was all cow pasture before this was houses years and years and years ago. This was probably all cow pasture, and this is probably an area where the cows used to come down here and be in the shade. And so if I had to guess, that was probably what this is. So this barbed wire fence has been here for a long long time. Here's a good example right here. Look at this. Look how this is a holly tree. Look how far that holly tree has grown into that wire. That's nuts. I mean, it's halfway, almost easily a third to almost halfway into that holly tree. And that holly tree is, and there's my hand. That's a good sized holly tree right there. So that fence has been here a long time probably. But I cleared to it as best I could. But his property actually goes a little further back. It might be about where that creek is actually, but this is not the property line. I've got it on Onyx, and about right in here is like the middle of the property actually. So it kind of goes back into an angled corner, like a point right back in there. So he wants to, next time I come back, he wants to finish clearing all this up in here, get back to that corner back there, and then he wants me to do this corner up here. Originally we were not going to do that corner. He wanted to leave that for privacy, but he changed his mind, so we're going to clean that up down there too. But they're out here burning like crazy, getting some of these pine logs burned up. He's been here most of the day with me, which is good, and he's very happy with everything. So this is a low hole down in here. Luckily it wasn't too wet. It's been dry every time I've come down in here, but this is a hole down in here. But we got it all cleaned up. I got all this up in here cleaned up for the most part. All that looks good. So yep, it was thick in there. Old Munchie did it all day every day. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I got to beat the rain today and I'm happy about that. So I'm gonna load this thing up and we're gonna be getting out of here. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye everybody.